What's good with y'all, bro? And welcome back to another episode of Snow Blunt Talk. I'm your host, Kyle. In today's episode, not unlike, well, the last video wasn't an episode, that was just me letting out my but today's episode, not unlike the last episode, was inspired by a comment left on a previous episode where I asked for comments for ideas about new episodes. So, thanks to my friend Beniam, we have today's topic. It's about how society and the systems in it keep us in mental slavery. Now, I could sit here and tell y'all, what y'all want to hear. You know what I'm saying? You out here, you getting ready for work. You don't want to be getting ready for work. I could sit here and tell you, oh yeah.
Yes, society. See, they make us work for the big man who makes more money off of us than we make for working. And then we go and spend money at the same corporations that we were working for, and then we slave to the corporation.
Which, and I know I said it in the kind of mocking voice. That's true, but like, where haven't we heard that by now, man? Like, come on, man. Like, I know it's fuck capitalism now. I'm personally, I had this grave feeling while I was applying for jobs. I was like, yeah, we're not supposed to be working as human beings. That's besides the point. I could tell you that that's the mental slavery, and if that's what you wanted to hear, you could click off the video. I mean, the viewer watch time don't even be that high on these videos. Damn right, I'll be seeing it. But that's also besides the point. What I wanted to talk about was how the mental slavery and its relationship with society is a lot more symbiotic than we might believe. See, we might think that society is enslaving us constantly, but what if I told you that because of the thought processes from evolution in our own childhoods, we're the ones enslaving ourselves by submitting to society? See, when we was kids, right, you can't just tell a kid, hey,
do what you want,
because they'll probably shit themselves and die. But when we were a kid, we had all these societal rules that helped us learn and grow and get along with humanity at a very, basic, primary level, and it helped us out, right? But if you watching this and you I'd say even fucking 14 or older, the basic rules of society, but you 14 or older, you're starting to develop your own identity. If you're starting to develop your own identity and you're in that age range and up, if you're my age and up, this is even more important. If you're still following societal rules and still subjecting yourself to these abstract parameters that we made up in our heads, these unspoken rules, you're making yourself a slave. It's like you stay in an apartment, right? And then out of comfort, you just choose to sign the lease every single year because it's easy. And that's what we're doing. You just choose to sign the lease. You choose to every day, you choose to say, okay, yeah, I'll do this because I'll dress like this because it's supposed to be good. I'll act like this because it's supposed to be good. I'll do these things because apparently they're good. Not even knowing if you intrinsically enjoy them. As a matter of fact, I'd argue that most of the intrinsic enjoyment that comes from doing good activities comes from the fact that they're supposed to make you look good. And it all ties back into the master that's making us a slave. The ego. See, it's not society that's making us a slave. It's the ego's survival instinct who's ready to do anything just to fit in, to get along, to be in people's good graces. That's what's making us enslaved. Because that's the part of us that's choosing, that's signing that contract every single day when we wake up. The ego is doing that. The ego is making you dress with Gucci and new Jordans or in a fucking business suit. The ego is making you do that because you convinced yourself, you told yourself again and again that you need to do those things to fit in, to the point where you'll be tortured if you don't do that because you're gaslighting yourself. Why? Because in addition to being a slave, you're also a master. I know. I'm going a little bit crazy, a little bit cuckoo right now. My nigga, fuck the opposition. I've been in a flow state. But that's besides the point. We're the masters and the slaves, yet we're great slaves and terrible masters. I don't know if y'all have heard this quote before, but the mind is a terrible master and a great servant. Basically how I see it We have this like conscious mind, the ego, the left brain, that side of things, the rational, analyzing side, and the subconscious mind that's a lot more holistic, spiritual, takes everything in. Now, the mind's great servant is the subconscious mind, and the mind's terrible master is the conscious mind. See, because of, you know, the work we make ourselves do, and I'm gonna get on work soon, but because of the work we make ourselves do, we get very tired and exhausted, and then we just don't have, we're mentally exhausted to the point where we don't even have enough energy to discern what we feed to our minds. So basically, as the master of your mind, the mind is so reduced by all this training you put it through by working, that all you have left after a hard day's work, after a hard day's school, in your free time is the most instinct things. You either want comfort, sex, food. You want just something very instinctual. You don't want to think about something. You just want pleasure. You want pure pleasure. And that's going to keep you enslaved forever, because if you condition your mind to find solace in a bunch of external things, which is what, you know, all this shit, all this work, all this shit, our natural state is to do this. We're naturally like born slaves and masters, but I'm gonna get on that soon. That's what's keeping you enslaved. You enslaved to all these things. You enslaved to the alcohol. You enslaved to the TV. You enslaved to Snow Blunt Talk channel on YouTube. When your mind is weakened by the societal structures that you choose to put them through, I'm gonna get on that soon. But when your mind is weakened by the societal structures you choose to put it through, that's when you become a slave. Because now your whole existence is controlled by things outside of you. When really all these things are mental. Everything goes back to the mind. This whole universe is mental. That's why it's called a motherfucking universe. Cause it's you. It's me and it's us. It's we. It's you. You're watching yourself right now, bro. But that's besides the point. We get metaphysical. Everything's besides the point. But why do you asking Kyle? Okay, but you say that we basic for thinking that mental slavery is the fact that we have to, is the fact that we go to work every day and do this, and you saying that work is making us. Now let me break the lid open even further. What a lot of people don't know is that every day you create your reality. Your subconscious mind creates your whole reality, and this ain't no damn, you know what I'm saying, if I start thinking of a motherfucking Copacabra, it's gonna come rushing past me. No, your subconscious mind creates your reality on a very, very practical level. Let's get it for the practical niggas. Let's make it real practical. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I already gave y'all the line and gazelle. I made a video on this. Everything is perspective. So that in and of itself show you that whatever reality you tell yourself you live in is just a matter of stimuli existing, and what you make of it is controlled by what you've been told in the past, what you think of it now. All these things that have nothing to do with the fact that the stimuli is just what it is. But you can even create things into your reality by believing, because your beliefs create your own reality. So if you believe that you have to go to work and go to school to do well in life, guess what, nigga? You have to go to work and go to school to have a good life, because you told yourself that. And your subconscious mind is an amazing servant. So it's gonna work as hard as it can to prove to you that your little ego, the ego that won't let go, that always wants to be right, is gonna work hard to prove to you that what you believe is true. Because the ego is all about self-preservation and surviving. So if you tell yourself that food is scarce, you tell yourself that money is scarce, you have to work hard to get it, you're gonna have to work hard to get your money. And that's what's keeping you a slave. You're not a slave because the masters of society are victimizing you, and you being free is not a rebellion against nature. Being free, shout out to Infinite Waters, being free is your birthright. But your ego chose to fit in with everybody else by telling yourself, gaslighting yourself, that everything is scarce. Your ego got scared and saw that, oh, I don't got no money right now. I gotta panic about being broke, and now money is scarce to you. If you simply believed in abundance and believed in your own life path and believed in your fuck all that other stuff, believe in yourself and believe in your nature and believe your intuition, that would cancel 99% of society's problems. you don't feel a need to submit to any type of archetype or do this or do that other people are telling you when you follow your intuition. When you have faith in yourself and faith in your own path, that's when you stop being a slave. It's funny because when we was on the fields and shit, they like gave all the slaves the Bible and like, you know what? I know we beating your ass every day, but you see Jesus, he might free you one day in this book that we gave you. But really, to be honest, faith is what's going to free you from being a slave. Faith is what frees you from the ego's natural state, which is fear. And fear and all that shit is what's really keeping you enslaved. Fear is what keeps you believing in society. Fear is what keeps you wanting to belong to a group, because the ego is developed throughout evolution, being part of a group and, you know, agreeing, following the leader or whatever. That's what got us to survive from getting fucking attacked by, I cannot think, a lion. But there's no lions roaming around. We got houses, townhouses built en masse now. We have phones and tripods where I can sit here and just talk to you, and I was fed by the food that's in my house right now. We don't have to wake up and fight for our existence every day. We don't need to submit to this fear-based thinking anymore. Now, as humans, we can return to our natural state, which is freedom. We can return to not being a slave. We can return, and that's just part of it. The other part of it is to free yourself from mental slavery, you have to discern what goes into your mind. If you're around toxic people that just tell you about how broke it is and how bad shit is now, get away from those people. Because you can't just, no matter how powerful you think you are, I mean, we are very powerful. There's always going to be, you know, some serpents. I got a whole analysis on the Adam and Eve story relating to this. I kind of don't want to get into it because I like to keep my videos concise as they can be. But you never know what kind of toxic mind states are slipping into your subconscious mind. That's why you got to be ultra discerning about what you tune into, what you listen to, what you consider, because it literally creates your whole reality. A reminder, your mind is a great servant, but a terrible master. So as a terrible master, you're choosing to listen to other masters about how your reality works. You know no reality except the one that you're experiencing. You're gonna let other people tell you how to experience it. Sound like some slave shit to me. But the difference between this and like real break your back, the phrase break your back is perverted now, but real break your back slavery is that you could choose to snap yourself out of it. Every day you choose not to, out of fear, I'm gonna need y'all to switch that fear to faith and snap out of it. Snap out of being a fearful ass nigga and start having faith in your reality. You'll start having faith in your decisions, start having faith in your intuition, start having faith in all that, and stop letting people tell you how to make your decisions. Stop letting people tell you how you should live your life. Because at the end of the day, no one has ever experienced the life that you're experiencing. So fuck what I'm saying, even fuck what anyone's saying about life. They don't know shit about what it's like to be you. So why even consider that shit? Only listen to the voice, that little voice inside, that little voice that's not even like, oh, not that voice that's like, oh my God, am I gonna get enough likes on Instagram? Oh my God, this bitch like me back. Listen to that voice that resonates with your heart, that resonates with your viscera. You gotta listen to your gut feelings, man. I know y'all felt that feeling before where you just feel like, I gotta do this. Listen to that. Whatever gives you that most joy, that most luxury, do that shit. Yeah, man. Look, the key to living a free life is having the fearlessness to follow what makes your heart sing the most. The opposite of that is letting your mind take over, and the mind is a terrible master. So why let this anxious, analyzing ass entity keep you enslaved and keep you working? Because at the end of the day, all this fear and anxiety is giving you is more mental work to go through every single day. Your mind is just crowded every single day, and it's just a vicious cycle, because while you're thinking about how bad it's gotten, you thinking about how bad it is and making everything worse because your whole reality is just bad. So choose a different lifestyle. Choose freedom, choose faith, choose autonomy, and choose your intuition. And that is how you beat mental slavery. Stop being the master that listens and adheres to everyone else, because then the master is the slave, and that's a terrible master if you becoming a slave. So be a good master, follow your heart, and follow what you know is right. Not what you think you know is right, but what you know. And for some of us, that's gonna hit, and some of us not gonna hit. And for that group of people, it might hit later, and you might realize. But that's all I can tell you right now. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Snow Blunt Talk. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to comment more ideas for videos, because you're doing half the job for me. And I will see y'all later. I love y'all. Be safe. Signing out.